Hello guys, full time at St Mary's, full time on the Premier League campaign. Arsenal 2-1 winners, we get the second place finish. We knew that was all but assured. We finish, I think, 3 points clear of Manchester City. And to be honest, it was a lovely day out on the south coast. You know, Mikel Arteta is not a sentimental man, is he? But I felt like there was some sentimentality in his team selection. Kieran Tierney started at left back, Zinchenko started in midfield, Raheem Sterling started up front. Could be farewells for all those guys, you have to say. And if it is farewell, what a perfect send-off for Kieran Tierney. I think, you know, the way in which his name was sung at full time as he went over to those supporters tells you the esteem in which he's held. He's a great pro, a great character, a really good player. A player who hasn't quite worked out at Arsenal. I think injuries have been a massive factor in that, a stylistic shift as well. But they've never, ever, ever questioned his attitude here. And, you know, you think of players signing pre-contracts and often they get completely excluded from the team. They're excluded from selection. Not so Kieran Tierney. Mikel Arteta has continued to use him even though he's already promised to another club. That tells you about the esteem in which he's held, the way in which they perceive his attitude, his commitment. And I was so happy for him that he got his goal. A bit of a crazy moment really, one full back to the other, Ben White on the overlap, tucking it back. There was Kieran Tierney at the near post, right foot finish, a striker's finish. He looked surprised, he looked delighted, and the players absolutely loved it, hoisted him aloft. He went back to the fans, raised a fist to them, got a huge cheer. Delighted for Kieran Tierney. Southampton got their equaliser from a set piece. That's been a big theme in recent weeks, hasn't it? Arsenal conceding off set pieces. They've really struggled, and actually their record across the season isn't great. But for all the praise they've had for their attacking on dead balls, defensively they've had issues, particularly since Gabriel went down. So that's something to keep an eye on next season. You know, Yova's had a lot of praise, and understandably so, but defensively we've actually been poor. We've got one of the worst records in the league. Looping header, can Raya get there? I don't know. Probably not, to be honest. Probably not, unless he's a few inches taller. He does win the Golden Glove, though, David Raya, despite conceding today. Matt Sells conceded for Forest, and it means they both finish on 13 clean sheets apiece. Jointly, they get one glove each, I guess, right? Have the pair. And I think that's fitting reward, really. He's had a very good season, David Raya. He's won that award twice in successive years. You know, the year before that, Aaron Ramsdale was in the PFA Team of the Year. So I think that tells you Arsenal have got a good defence, right? But they've had a good goalkeeper this year as well. He's played really well. So, it looked like it was heading for 1-1. Southampton, I think, would have been delighted with that, given the season they've had. And then, late on, they concede. Martin Odegaard, fantastic goal from him. Finds a bit of space, belts one into the bottom corner. That's been coming, hasn't it? I think there have been a few efforts. You know, I remember one away at PSG, batted away by Donnarumma, brilliant save. But the power's come back into his shooting, and that's been on the cards, I think, that strike. Pleased for him that he got that. You know, he needed it, really. And it might just quell some of the debate around him across the summer. Hope we can see him back to his best next season. We need a better Martin Odegaard if we're to achieve our goals next year. So Arsenal win. Bukayo Saka picked up an injury towards the end. Hopefully that's nothing too serious. If it is enough to keep him out of the international friendlies in June, that's fine with me, frankly, as long as he's back in time for pre-season. Kai Havertz got another run out. Good to see him. Yeah, and a few farewells today. I mean, Tierney, the obvious one. Sterling, Neto, you would think. Jorginho will head off to join Flamengo. Potentially Zinchenko. You do have to wonder about Zinchenko. You know, he might have gone in January. He's still here now. I think he'll be sold this summer. But yeah, all in all, quite a nice day. And frankly, there were some really nice moments. You know, great reception for Tierney. Arsenal fans in fine voice, sense of humour too. Sterling scores were on the pitch was a chant I heard 3 or 4 times. Sadly, it didn't happen. They gave a tremendous reception to Aaron Ramsdale. I mean, frankly, yeah, he got more applause on the sort of lap appreciation than any Southampton player from the home fans. And you can understand why, given the season that they've had and given the relationship he's got with the Arsenal supporters. Pleased to finish ahead of City. And in Champions League terms, well, look, Villa stumbled, right? Emi Martinez sent off in quite crazy circumstances, charging out of his goal to rugby tackle Rasmus Højlund. Villa beaten at Old Trafford. Newcastle lost, but go through anyway. There was a moment in time where it looked like Newcastle weren't going to make it, and at that point I was thinking, oh, does that put Alexander Isak back on the table potentially? Well, they're in Champions League now, and I think we can probably write that one off. Gyökeres or Sesko, who's your pick? We're going to have plenty of time to talk about that over the course of the summer. I think I'll leave it there really, guys. Keep it short and snappy. I did obviously the video yesterday, check that out, about the women's team. They've got the trophy lift in front of the fans at the Emirates Stadium tomorrow. Get yourself down to that in the morning if you can. It's a bank holiday, so if you're from the UK, no excuses. And I just want to say thank you for watching these all season long. It's always a pleasure. You know, YouTube gets a lot of stick, but my comments are always really lovely. I love the community I've built here. If you watch but you don't subscribe, what are you doing to me? Subscribe, please, if you want to get more of these. Like I say, I'm going to be away on tour with the team in the summer. We're going to have more videos from Singapore, from Hong Kong. Hopefully I'll meet some of you out there as well. And then a big season. Next season's a big season. I think wherever you are on the team, on the manager, you recognise that next year Arsenal need to win something, especially what our rivals down the road have achieved this season. Although glad to see them back to themselves, being 4-1 at home. They didn't actually make it to the magical 40 points mark in the Premier League this season. I just wish the likes of Southampton and the other promoted teams had been a little bit better, and I could have had my dream of seeing Tottenham relegated. But there you go. Still got the nightmare of them winning a European trophy. I'll leave it there for now, guys. Thank you for watching. Thanks for the support. Much appreciated. And I'll speak to you soon. Let's see what we do over the summer. We might do some transfer videos and the like, because I know those tend to go down well. Take care, guys. All the best. Up the Arsenal. Bye-bye.